random fact for you. Hippos can't swim. That's right, the second largest land animal on the planet, an animal that spends 70% of its time in the water, can't swim. They basically bounce off the bottom. It's almost more like galloping than it is like swimming. Nature is so cool. Space fact for you. The largest known star is a red supergiant. It's in the constellation Scutum, which is about 9,500 light years away. It's got a circumference, so the distance around, of 4.6 billion miles. Let's try to put that in a little bit of perspective. If you got in a 747, which has an average speed of about 575 miles an hour, and flew non-stop, it would take you about 1,000 years to fly all the way around it one time. 1,000 years. You can't even wrap your brain around the size of this star. And that's just scratching the surface of how cool and epic space is. Tigers are too smart. They have been recorded in the wild imitating the call of the sambar deer. They're luring this deer into an ambush. That's tactical thinking from what most people consider a wild animal. They are way smarter than we give them credit for. Nature is so cool. Scary space fact. Pulsars are one of the potential stellar remnants left behind after a supernova. On rare occasions, for reasons we don't really understand, those pulsars turn out as magnetars. And these magnetars have a magnetic field so intense, it's almost undescribable. If you manage to avoid all of the radiation, gravitational forces, and other dangers, and got within 600 miles of a magnetar, your body just kind of goes poof, as the electrons are ripped away from every one of your individual atoms. So freaking cool! Amazing engineering. The Large Hadron Collider is a particle accelerator in Switzerland that's used to study particle physics at CERN. It's made up of about 250,000 kilometers, or about 155,000 miles, of copper-coated niobium titanium wire. If you got in your car and drove at highway speeds, non-stop, it would take 3.5 months to drive that far. And humans built that and use it like on a regular basis. If that wasn't amazing enough, they are talking about and planning a larger one. It's just mind-boggling how amazing that really is. People do some amazing things. Bird brain should never have been an insult. Researchers actually have to wear masks when they capture crows and other corvids. That's because if they don't, those same birds for years will harass those researchers. It's actually been documented that those birds have taught other birds that weren't involved in the original interaction to harass the researchers. They're getting help from other crows to get revenge, more or less. That's so cool. I don't know about you, but even with practice, I'm fairly sure that I couldn't tell, individual crows or other ravens apart. But after years, they can still do that. That's so cool. Surprising fact. Did you know vending machines kill more people every year than sharks? In fact, here's a list of things that are more likely to kill you every year than sharks. Volcanoes kill roughly 1,000 people a year. Falling out of bed kills upwards of 450 a year. Falling coconuts kill about 150 people a year. Choking on hot dogs specifically kills about 70 people a year. Champagne cork accidents kill 24 people every year. Vending machines? 13. And finally, sharks, even the highest estimates put it around 10. Sharks are critical for so many ecosystems, and we need to protect them. Remember, sharks are our friends. We aren't their food. Your brain doesn't work the way you think it does. Don't believe me? I'll show you. It takes 10 printers, 10 minutes, to produce 10 booklets. If you have 35 printers printing 35 booklets, how many minutes does it take? Did you get it wrong? If you did, you aren't alone. The correct answer is 10 minutes. As long as the amount of printers and the amount of booklets remains the same, the amount of time required doesn't change. Intrigued? To learn more, click the link in the description and it'll lead you to the full-length video. Here's a dose of random knowledge. Contrary to what you may believe, the Bermuda Triangle isn't a place of extreme danger. There's no debate that ships and planes have gone missing in the area over the years. However, when you compare the area to other areas of the Atlantic Ocean with similar traffic, there is no significant difference in the amount of disappearances. So it's not any more or less dangerous than any other part of the ocean. Here's a math trick for you. Percentages are always reversible. I'll give you a few examples. 25% of 8 equals 2, and 8% of 25 also equals 2. 15% of 40 equals 6. 40% of 15 equals 6. What about a less round number? 12% of 97 is 11.64. 97% of 12 is 11.64. Even for large numbers, 18% of 3,450 is 621. 3,450% of 18 is also 621. Math can be complicated, but it isn't always. Did you know the opposite sides of any standard die always add up to the number of sides plus 1? Here's your standard 6-sided die. 6 sides, so the opposite sides should always add up to 7. Let's check. 1 plus 6 equals 7. 4 plus 3 equals 7. 2 plus 5 equals 7. What about an 8-sided die? 8 sides, so the opposite sides should always add up to 9. Let's check. 1 plus 8 equals 9. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9. 6 plus 3 equals 9. Check out other standard sizes and let me know what you find. Question. What country has the largest number of pyramids? I bet you said Egypt. Nope, it's actually Egypt's southern cousin, Sudan. Built by the Kingdom of Kush, an ancient Egyptian contemporary who ruled areas of the Nile between 1070 BC and 350 AD. The Kushites built well over 200 pyramids compared to the 138 in Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza isn't even the largest pyramid in the world. That title belongs to Mexico's Great Pyramid of Cholula. Egypt's pyramids may be the most well-known, but there are plenty all over the world that are just as mysterious. Who knows what we will find next? Here's another math trick for you. If you multiply any single-digit number by 9, the sum of the product always equals 9. I'll show you. 1 times 9 equals 9. 2 times 9 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. 3 times 9 equals 27. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 4 times 9 is 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. 5 times 9 is 45. 4 plus 5 equals 9. 6 times 9 is 54. 5 plus 4 equals 9. 7 times 9 is 63. 6 plus 3 equals 9. 8 times 9 is 72. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 equals 9. When you find these little shortcuts, math doesn't feel nearly so complex. I've got another really cool math shortcut for you. It's about calculating your hourly rate from your annual salary. I'll show you the long way or the precise way first, and then we'll go over the shortcut. Let's say you make $64,000 a year. $64,000 a year divided by 52 weeks a year equals $1,230.77 per week. $1,230.77 per week divided by 40 hours per week equals $30.77 per hour. Now here's the shortcut. $64,000, you remove the zeros, leaving $64, divide that by 2, giving you $32. And that's your rough hourly wage. It's always going to be within 10% of the actual hourly rate. However, for math you can do in your head really fast, I'd say it's close enough. Do you ever struggle to calculate tip? Well, here's an easy trick to help. Let's say you buy lunch for you and 3 friends, and the total bill comes to $56.94. You take your $56.94. If you move the decimal place over 1 position to the left, that gives you 10% of the original number. So $56.94 becomes $5.69. That's 10%. You then double that number to give you 20%. $5.69 times 2 equals $11.38. You can make it even easier if you just round those numbers up to the nearest dollar. So your $5.69 becomes $6. You double your $6, which gives you $12, and that's what you leave for your tip. It's slightly over 20%, but I'd always rather leave too much than too little. You are awesome. I promise you aren't giving yourself enough credit. Have you ever considered how perfectly magnificent it is that you get up and move around all day? You are essentially a large meat robot being driven by a bowl of pudding that runs on just enough power to light a light bulb. That's fantastic. So next time you get down on yourself for any reason, please try and remember just how stupendous you are just by existing. Remember, we're all in this together. Horses don't pull things, they push. Horses have been used by civilization for thousands of years. However, it wasn't until about 2,500 years ago that we began to utilize their full potential. Prior to about 500 BCE, horses were usually harnessed with a neck girth, basically a large dog collar. This forced the animal to pull with all of the weight directly on their trachea. Now, that's a fairly critical part for, breathing. That's when clever Chinese saddle makers modified a camel harness to redistribute the load across the horse's chest. The horse, now with proper leverage, could push its full weight against the harness, greatly increasing the use and application of horses worldwide. This is absolutely one of the most important, yet underrated, technological advancements.